Alright, somebody messaged me a while back and wanted to know how a combine works. This is our Gleaner K2. It's got the grain platform or grain head on it. If you've watched my combining videos, you've seen our Model K with the corn head on it. I'll try to get a shot of a corn head to show you that part of it. I can't remember what they call these bars here in the front, but these here go along in front of you and they go around and they rake the grain, straw. If you're doing oats or soybeans or whatever, they kind of pull the feed or the stuff into the head. And then, as you can see, these knives here, you can see these little triangles right here, them oscillate back and forth between them guards, and that's what cuts your stalks off of your grain. And then these bars here rake them back in your auger. Your auger pulls it to the middle where it goes into this drum here, and these fingers here, as it turns, they come out, grab the feed, and then push it up in. Okay, here's our one of our corn heads. I believe this is a model 330, 335. What that means is it's 3-row head, 35-inch spacing center. I think we got a 330 over there. Okay, what this does, these are the gathering chains, and down in here there's little rollers. But you can see it looks like a corkscrew on the front. Them spin. One spins one way, one spins the other, so they pull the feed down. Your corn stalks come in. You watch my corn combining video, you'll see it. These little worm gears here, grab it and shoot it up into here. And as you're driving, these things are pulling the stalk down. And you got your ear cob is bigger than your stalk. Your cob don't fit between these bars. These are what we call the stripper bars. And as the stalk is yanked down, that pops the ear off the stalk. These chains pull them up into this auger here, little fingers there, flip it into the combine. So that's how the grain head works to your raspberries. This part of the machine, these are what you call your rasp bars. These are actually in pretty good shape. This drum here spins at a really high speed, and depending on whether you're doing corn or oats, you set this little gauge here on both sides, and that around the bottom underneath this drum there's like channel iron bars that go across, big little, they're pretty good and heavy, and you set the clearance of these to these bars here. And what that does is your corn cobs or your stalks of oats or wheat or soybeans go in, and these just smash them. They just whip them between them bars, and it rattles all the corn, knocks all the corn off the cobs, all the seeds of oats or soybeans off the pods. It breaks the pods open on the soybeans, shakes the oats off the straw, but it, it just knocks everything loose. And then it goes from there up into a conveyor. Let's see, I got a door on this side, one there. Let's see if I can get to a door on the other side here. There's little panels you can open up to see inside better. Yeah, this one will work. That drum throws it. I don't know how well you can see in here. Need the best of the light. But this is a conveyor. That feeds the feed from that feeder up into the combine. Meanwhile, down in here, you have a fan. You can adjust the speed with this variable speed clutch. That fan is blowing air up through the combine, and that's blowing all the chaff and everything, your corn husk and your chaff, all that stuff, out the back. Now open this panel. And that conveyor feeds all your stalks and everything. You can see we did soybeans last week. I even had a chance to get it cleaned out, but there's some soybean pods. And they go on to these things. Now this has 3 what they call straw walkers. They got all these fingers on here, and you can see there's holes. Let me come up from the back side, you can see it better. And again, it is kind of dark in here. But you can see there's 3 individual ones. And then there's a space underneath, and it slopes down. And they're on that kind of like a crankshaft there. And that spins around. And what these do is they oscillate like this. And it walks the straw and corn cobs and husk and everything up them, shaking all the grain down through them holes. Meanwhile, that fan's blowing all that air through here. I think there's another fan here somehow, and that kind of beats the stuff down. But that fan blows all your chaff out the back. Your seeds fall down through the hole there, and they drop down into the bottom. That's your screens. Oh, now you can see here is your screens. I don't know if I can open and close them or not. That's the lever on this one. This is different than the other one. The other one's got a big lever in the back. This one must be down inside. Oh yeah, I got it. There we go. See, I can move this lever right here. I can open and close these screens. You have to adjust them for different types of grain. These little fingers, they walk back and forth like this, and everything kind of, it catches and just keeps pushing everything forward. Further refining your trash, which you see there's some stuff on the top here. And maybe I'll pop out some soybeans in this on here. Yeah, there's some soybeans. You ever wonder what soybeans look like? It's a very killer picture. But that drops all your beans, seed, corn, oats, whatever you're running, down into the bottom. And then the shaking motion rattles all that down into this auger, which feeds it into like a conveyor. And that goes up top. I hope you can make all this out. I ain't the best cameraman. It goes up that square tube there through a conveyor. And then I can't see the best in this one. Watch my corn video, my combine video. You can see the stuff coming out. There you go. Now you can see the auger. This one's got a shield on it. You can't see it. But it comes up this conveyor and out this auger, and the auger pushes the grain out to the middle and fills this bin up. And down in the bottom, there's a big auger. If I'm back down, you can see that. Actually, I'm standing on it at the moment. You can see that auger right there. And then this big auger swings out. You hook that lever up top. These two things lock in together, and it makes it one big continuous auger. That's how you offload your feed in your wagon. Now, there's other stages like, where is it? This one over here, if it goes by everything, you get some trash and stuff comes down into this conveyor, which is, I believe, what they call a reclaimer. That comes up, drops down, and goes right back in to your cylinder and runs it through again. It cleans anything that gets to the backstage that doesn't fall down in the beginning. And you got all these belts and pulleys and chains and sprockets. You got this fancy contraption that you see this spins. This is a screen over the front of the radiator. You can see it's open on the top, but there's a thing that covers about a quarter of it on the bottom. And it's got like fins like a propeller on the inside, so as the air sucks through, this thing spins. Any leaves or trash stick onto here, and as it comes down, it loses its vacuum going by this closed part and drops off, keeps your radiator clean. Yeah, let's climb up and look at the engine. Alright, we'll come up here and look at the engine. As you can see, this is a 6-cylinder General Motors engine. Anybody that knows General Motors would know what size that is. I'm not sure just what size it is, whether it's a 250 or what it is, but it's a 6-cylinder General Motors gas engine. And this fuel tank. And you can see in that green hopper from here. I'll see, give you a little shot up in the cab before the battery dies. Ooh. I don't even know if I've run this one. We've got 3. One's kind of just for parts now. 2 Ks and a K2. That's pretty simple. Steering wheel. You got a brake, clutch, dual brakes for steering, throttle, choke, gauges. This one controls your reel. That's what they call that thing, the reel on the front. You can control the speed of that. This one controls 2 things. It controls your forward speed. You push it forward and pull it back to slow it down, speed it up. It's just it squeezes a pulley. And then it also, up and down, raises that head up and down. So as you got rocks or just contour the ground. This one actually has what they call a floating head, where them sickle knives are, that hinges, and it's hooked to a switch on the side, and if it pushes up, it raises the head, and if it lowers down, it drops the head, so it always keeps the head floating level on the ground if you got good clean ground with no rocks or nothing. Or you can do it manually. This switch is probably what turns that part on and off. But you can just ride along with your hand on here. You can go a little faster, a little slower, head up, head down. That's how you run that. This lever here controls the speed of your fan, I believe. And you got, I think these are 3-speed, 3 or 4-speed in reverse. Oh, this is your fan speed. This controls the speed of everything else. And then you just got tach and fuel gauge and your basics. So I don't remember who it was that sent me the message, but hope this helps you out. And remember to like my videos, leave comments or questions down below, and give me one of these thumbs up.